pretty tempting. Even though I don't think I could strip because I'm anemic. And if I somehow was able to do a flip, I think I would pass out. But anyway, other problems I have. I have really bad anxiety, just like every other white person. And I had to go and call to make a gynecologist appointment. So like the worst appointment ever. And sometimes when I'm super anxious, I say out loud what my worry is. So I said out loud to myself, I'm scared to call someone because I don't want them in my gut locker. It didn't work. My body had the right to be worried because going to the gyno is pretty traumatizing. There's some guys in here, so if I could paint the picture just a little bit. You walk into the gynecologist's office and you think you just went back in time because they have all these medieval-looking devices. You'll be laying in the bed in the room waiting for the doctor and you'll see a guillotine in the corner. Then the doctor comes in and they lay out all these barbaric-looking tools and it starts to look like you're at a mechanic. Are you using those pliers for a car hood or under my hood? And where are you planning on attaching those jumper cables? Please leave my clunker alone. Is anyone here a mechanic? Yeah? All right, so you have a secret, but you're not telling anyone. You didn't have to go to school for 8 years, but you could still give a pap smear if you wanted to. I mean, you know how to use the tools. Just wash your hands first. Speaking of traumatizing stories of my lady bits, I have bad eggs. A few years ago, a little bit after when I graduated college, I was looking for ways to make quick cash. And I wasn't desperate enough to get a second job, but I was desperate enough to look into selling your eggs. I knew nothing about the process, but I figured I could just pop them out like a chicken, maybe. So I found a clinic, I showed up, and was like, okay, I'm here, take my eggs. And the receptionist was like, actually, we have a whole screening process first. Please pull your pants back up. I felt bad for the people in the waiting room. They eventually led me back to a room, and the nurse was like, all right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. And I looked at her, and I was like, did you just name my vagina? So it turns out they didn't want my eggs. The screening process was kind of unfair to me, though. They made me step on a scale, and then they watched my reaction when I saw the number. I guess if you had a breakdown, it means you're mentally ill. I kind of like my generation, though. I think it's great that we're so open about mental illnesses. We'll tell you what antidepressants we're on before you know our last name. I was looking at, I was online the other day and I saw a chart and I thought it was going to be a fun zodiac chart. And I was like, oh, what's my horoscope this month? And it was all of the antidepressants just listed out and the horoscopes underneath. And mine just said, good luck. So a lot of people think that social media is the reason for mental illnesses, and I don't know if that's true. I've been depressed since I came out of my mother's womb. I think it's because my favorite toy was a life-size kitchen, and so I spent my days slaving away, cooking, even though my feet were bleeding, working, feeding my family. That was also when I started getting acid reflux. I was basically an adult in a baby body. Anyway, I don't like where that took a turn. That was a weird visual. Does anyone else hate bad drivers?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they will make or break my day. And I know that's a lot of pressure to put on someone you don't know, but it's gotten to that point. So the other day I was driving on 95 and there was a car driving next to me, and it was this lady, maybe in her 60s, I don't know, I didn't see her bottom half, and she kept swerving into my lane. So I was like, all right, let me pass her. So I quickly passed her, and as I was flipping her off, I saw she was texting. Like, if you can't text and drive, you shouldn't have your license. She was probably just sending a super proper text with periods and all, punctuations, exclamation marks. But I always think it's ironic that older women love to text using periods, considering they don't have one anymore. Sorry, I had to make one of those jokes. How's everyone feeling?
Yeah. Woo!
Nice. I wanted to make sure we were all still alive after I just trauma dumped. So this room is kind of comforting to me because it kind of looks like a depressed little boy's room, and not that I'm a pedophile, but it kind of is comforting, you know? That also took a turn for the worse. I did not like that at all. Anyway, you guys have been great. Thank you so much.